This is Sophie Aldred with The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Hello and welcome, fellow Whovians, to the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I'm your host, Paparazzo Dave Chapman, here to entertain, and we've got a great show for you. We are reviewing Gridlock, one of David Tennant's great episodes, and I'm, of course, not alone. I'll bring in first our producer, our forefather, our first doctor. I don't know what else I call him. It's Christian.
That's the best way. Is everything working okay? Is my microphone working okay? Because it was just complete disaster.
I think it's working. It's working well enough, if not working fine.
Oh, okay. I mean, am I coming in clear and all that?
Yeah, you're coming in clear.
Okay. And what? I don't know what the heck's going on here. Move that away.
It's one of those days. It really
Hello,
is.
everybody. Me, Gridlock.
No, Gridlock, not Grimlock.
Gridlock.
No. That's the Transformers. We're not reviewing Michael Bay.
Transformers. Come on.
I love Transformers, just not necessarily Michael Bay's.
There you go. I desperately need a new computer. I never understood this, so I'm just going to mention it because it sounds pretty cool. During this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars. I'm assuming this is the Facebook page.
That is the Facebook
that helps me earn money. Oh, okay. Well, that's the case. Yeah. Facebook, go completely nuts. Give me some stars there because I need a new computer by chance. And we want to say hello to everybody, but take it away, Dave.
All right. Also with us today, we have. I'll put you over there. We don't have a big crew. We don't have a big crew. We don't need to shove you in the corner. Who else do we got? We got Sam Mittens.
I'm Sam Mittens, and
when Sam Mittens is not there, we might have Reverend Amagon.
Oh no, he's been through a day already, and he made his comment on the other page.
All right then.
Grimlock want to be on the show.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those shows. Oh lordy.
I got to cut the budget, really.
Oh, Sean, save us, my friend.
Yes, please.
Hello. It is I. I am happy. And I'm ready to review Gridlock. I'm not sure what I'm saving you from, but I'm up to the task. So yes, hello.
You're saving us from Tom right now.
It's Christian and Tom, really.
So I'm just saying.
Gridlock not happy.
You wouldn't be.
The crazy people. You're saving us from the crazy people, Tom or Sean. Tom and Chris.
I got some bad news for you, Dave.
Oh no!
From the crazy, I got some bad news for you.
Oh, no.
I can't help you review Gridlock, though. I can at least do that.
Good. And our last person is of course Gadget. Let's just kick it off with the Who Knew news and bring Gadget in.
Let's bring Gadget in.
Oh,
Let's bring Gadget in, and then
I brought her in, and then you took her out. And
I know. It's the heat here. It's almost 100 degrees here in New York, and it is like I am literally like melting here. And no Wicked Witch jokes because it turned out she wasn't wicked. All right. So basically, it's going to be a short news because still no word on the land and the whatever they call it and everything. The thing that doesn't even look like a Doctor Who episode and all that. and everything. And yes, I'm fanning myself with my book because there's no air. There is no air. But let's start with some happiness. Like 2 birthdays this for this month of July, end of July, we should say. And she never ages. I swear. She's just turned 68 years old. Nana Visitor, from Star Trek fame through movies, everything, you name it. This woman does not age. She look at her. She does not. No. And basically is having probably the best birthday in air conditioning and stuff. But right now, I'm still trying to figure out what she's up to lately. But I haven't really heard anything yet. Christian, have you heard anything, or Dave, or Sean?
Yeah, I think she's just doing conventions. I think
doing conventions. All right.
She was in Ancient City last year, so this is actually the picture that we took. Oh no, this is not Ancient City. This is years ago. I think it was Florida Supercon or something like that. But she was at Ancient City last year. I'm seeing her. Yay!
And then our second birthday in honor of this great actor, David Warner, who passed away on July 24th, 2022. Celebrates. He would have celebrated, if I'm trying to do the math. I can never do math correctly when it's simple stuff. But he celebrated a birthday actually today, and he was a great actor. I remember seeing him in Tron and Time After Time when I was growing up, and The Time Bandits. So those were my 3 movies that I remember seeing him in. And then throughout the years, he's been spotted in other movie shows. He was in, is it Dreamworld for Doctor Who? If I'm seeing that correctly or saying it correctly and stuff. Or Dreamland. It was the animated version.
Dreamland.
And then he was also in The Holocaust, Rasputin, Dark Servant of Destiny. He was in Wallander and Hogfather. That one I think I did see. That was interesting. But
three things of Star Trek. He was There's Only Four Lights. Can't remember that guy. The Kardashian.
Oh yeah.
He was also in Star Trek V. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. He was a minor character, and I really think they underused him. So I'm glad they pulled him back in Star Trek VI as Gorkin. Really cool. So yeah, he's got he's got 6 decades of talent, acting, movies, theater, you name it. He's been all over the place, and God rest his soul. And
everyone I've spoken to also said he was a good guy. Whoever worked on set with him,
sweet guy.
He would always look out for the little person too. Like if you were just starting out, also, he wasn't one of those like stuck-up ones that would be like, "Oh no, we're not going to tell you the secrets." No, he used to look out for everybody. So yeah, and as I said, it was a short news because the only other news we have is for those lucky devils that were on the West Coast and everything at San Diego Con, because they got to be. Now, you sure their minds weren't wiped or anything? They got to go into the dark archives or the black archives and of UNIT and got to experience a bunch of cool things, merch, everything, you name it. And they got to see firsthand what the Mattel dolls of Ruby and the Doctor look like. They even put out on the Doctor Who page, if you couldn't make it, would you like to join UNIT? And I had the link posted somewhere for everybody to see. But if you do want to do it, it's Doctor Who TV/not-authorized, like a dash. And you can get your own UNIT ID and everything. I'm trying to find mine on my phone, but I screenshotted it and it's in all the bad part of the camera roll. I think it got corrupted because I think UNIT is on the ball when they don't want anybody knowing what's going on. But if you do want to join, just go right to Doctor Who TV and check it out. And you just got to create a BBC account. And you have your own mission to go on with UNIT. And that's all we have, unless everybody wants to mention anything that's coming up, conventions or this nasty weather, or because it feels like the TARDIS when it was on fire with the 11th Doctor.
Well, I was going to save it for the end, but the couple things I wanted to bring up. First of all, this number is wrong, and we were hoping that this number would have changed by the time it got up here. But so right now we're looking at 69,961 as we are doing this live. And we were hoping that 70,000 would have hit, but we're close. I mean, we are in the ballpark, and thanks to everyone.
We could get it during the show. We could get it.
We could get it during the show. So if you tell folks, so the real number is 69,961 right now. 39 people have to come over to the dark side of the force, hit that subscribe button. And we are there.
Everyone,
so,
make your grandma subscribe.
Exactly, and make her grandma subscribe.
Yeah.
So definitely. And a couple of things we wanted to bring up. Don't forget, over on our YouTube channel, and it's the only place you can find it if you want to do our polling. One of the questions was brought up. I don't remember. Gadget, I think I don't know if you mentioned this in the last episode, but Mark Gatiss came out and he had an interview, and he was kind of just saying, okay, do you think he thought that Doctor Who is in need of another hiatus? And we polled everybody on our YouTube channel, and 75% said yes, it's time to take some time off.
It needs a rethink.
Well, they break it down to a lot of things like new showrunner, new writers, new talent. Just give it a couple years and rethink everything.
I say find a nobody and see what happens and go from there.
Yeah. 3/4 of our poll takers said, yeah, it needs some time off. 25% said, no, it should continue on. And those folks were saying, like, no, they were saying the same thing too, but they said, we really don't need a break. We just need some good people up there running the case. And for those of you who are, we just threw this out there, and today was supposed to be a Big Finish day, but we just didn't get a chance to it. During the downtime, what would you like to see in future episodes of the Traveling TARDIS? And I really thought that this number was going to be bigger. A review of Classic New Who, picking up from where we are, which we did, is 7%. So we're doing that tonight. Reviews of Classic Who, 33%, and reviews of Big Finish, 60%. So we will try to do more Big Finish as it gets. I thought everybody was going, no, continue on, but only 7% of our audience said, yeah, keep it low. Not the Classic New Who from Tennant on, where we last left off. But the second best thing was Classic Who at 33%. And I guess, Dave, the people have spoken. I guess we're going to do some more Big Finish. And we are planning to do one, including was a Vampire Weekend with the 13th Doctor and Yaz. We wanted to do that one because as we enter the Halloween holidays, which we're really excited about, we're going to be doing some more spooky stuff for that time of year. So exactly, and we'll be doing announcements about future upcoming projects. In any case, that is it. Unless Gaddy,
that's it on the news and everything. Yeah. It's hot as hell.
Rod just brought up one other. We have one other piece of news, and that's that is Circuit Breaker.
Circuit Breaker, yeah.
I was just going to ask you about that, because is that still under Big Finish? Because that's another one with
that will include Big Finish. That will include BBC Audio. That will include comics. It'll basically everything but the TV show. But it is both BBC Audio and Big Finish Audio are supposed to be.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if the Fugitive Doctor was going to fall under Big Finish or BBC Audio. Because of everything, that's what I'm saying.
It's all the Fugitive Doctors, so
okay.
Yes.
I was still trying to get word on that one because I wanted to see the new episodes that were coming with her new all of them, because I know she drops the end of August.
Yeah.
Now, here's my biggest concern. We did this once. Does anybody remember Doomsday?
I try not to.
Nobody remembers Doomsday.
No, don't.
And this was their first attempt at doing it when it first went. I think when Jodie went off the air, and it was still kind of teetering off, and they came up with this project called Doomsday, and it was supposed to be, what was it? If I'm not mistaken, Dave, it was supposed to be the most deadliest assassin out there in the universe.
Yeah,
and it just. I mean, they did and I'm just like, maybe with the Fugitive Doctor, it's going to be better because, with respect, she's a way better character than what Doomsday was, or at least they projected, because they showed that trailer and just like all of us were like, whatever.
that trailer looked like a junior high.
Guys, breaking news for Shirley. She's at 93%, and she's got $7,010 out of her $7.5K goal. It just did it now.
Nice.
Okay, Great.
The Pandora is going to be staying open. If this works, we need 7% more of the people. We just need $490. Whoever can donate $490.
Everybody, make your grandma give.
Please.
And your grandma's grandma.
And I'll do this. I'm going to put a link into the GoFundMe page if you want to help out.
Oh, wow. I just got an alert. Wow.
For those of you who are not familiar, the Pandora restaurant in New York had some financial issues that came up at a spur of a moment, and it is literally the case of whether this restaurant will stay open or stay closed. And Shirley, who runs the Pandora restaurant, which is actually Doctor Who themed, and you should check it out for yourself if you're in the area, if you go visit the area. Definitely take a look at that. But the Pandora was hit with a big, I guess for a better term, a fee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of outdated equipment.
With outdated equipment, and they're trying to revamp it, and they are so close.
She'll even take equipment. If you guys have like equipment that's fairly new, she'll take that too. But 2 hours ago, the last donation was $50, and it was by anonymous. So she's been getting a lot of anonymous donors. So I'm wondering who they are and stuff, because we want to thank them, because the whole thing is anonymous 3 days ago, 4 hours ago, anonymous. One person named Diane Matheson, and she was 3 hours ago, and 2 hours was anonymous. Those were the last ones recently. I just got an alert because it went over 7,000.
It's very nice of anonymous to give all that money. Usually they don't forgive and forget, but it's really a turning relief for them, you know.
But I'm glad she only needs $490 more, and she's got the Pandora back. And who knows, maybe once everything settles here, I might take a trip up, and you guys might see the TARDIS going up on the train to Beacon, New York, since I'm not that far. Well, technically far, but not that far from it. It's about 2-3 hours, but I'll be there once I can get everything situated here, just to give her a big hug, because that'll be the first time I'm there.
And again, if you can give by all means. You know, even small increments, $5, $10. You just want to throw that in there. The smaller, even if it's small, it adds up and builds up to help out Shirley keep that restaurant up there. And again, for people who may have never visited Pandora, we had her on a week or two ago explaining the fundraiser. You've got to check it out for yourself. The Pandora, it's beautiful. They do serve fish fingers and custard, so I definitely can't wait to go up there sometime. And they're going to have a special event with Carol Ann Ford at that restaurant. It's actually taking place. I don't have the information, but you can go on the PandoraRestaurant.com on my birthday, August 20th. Susan will be up there, so
maybe it's a sign. Who knows?
No, I can't afford to go.
24-hour train ride, $50 on Amtrak. I mean, if you can catch the deal at 5 a.m.
So, is there anything else in the news there?
No, that was just great. I got an alert. I'm looking at my phone flashing, and I'm like, "What's flashing?" And it's like she's over 7. I was like, "What?" So yeah, so that's pretty much all the news we have right now, except for, like I said, the heat wave that's hitting here and everything. But I'm hoping that anything else you guys come up with, anybody in our can bring this up, because we're still. I checked it again, still 69.9. Come on, guys.
Here's something that just came up, and we want to thank everybody who has supported us. This literally came through before the show started, so this is actually the last announcement. We hit 1,700,000 views.
What the hell did we do right?
In our, I have no idea.
We did something right.
You people are hard up for entertainment. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's me. You came to see me.
As of yesterday, we hit 1.7. I got this email late, so I'm not exactly sure why I came late, but I guess we hit it yesterday, and that's phenomenal. That's amazing, and thank you all for supporting us on this one, and continue to view and watch as we're closing in on that 2 million views and our 70,000th subscriber. So thank you again, folks. Let's go ahead and wrap up the Who Knew News by pushing this little button.
Woo.
Woo!
Woo!
So,
Happy birthday, Raj.
Happy birthday. Almost happy birthday.
Almost. Yeah.
Happy future birthday.
Dave throwing in some Canadian dollars just to confuse me. Thanks. Speaking of a Canadian, I guess we'll go ahead and give him a big thanks since he's already up there. Stop it. Stop it. So yeah, you can contribute to us if you want me to get a better system, or you can contribute to the Pandora and help them get their $7,500 to make sure that restaurant stays open. But it sounds like they're going to hit it. So
they're going to hit it, and like she said, she'll take equipment too, or anything you guys want to donate. You know, as long as it's up to code, she'll take it.
Exactly. So
on to the main event of the show, which is of course Gridlock.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a nice small crew here, so we can be a little bit wilder and longer with our reviews, but not too much because we want to keep this nice and tight.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with Mittens or Tom, whichever one wants to
do it.
Do it. What do you rate 1 to 10 TARDIS Cs?
I give it. What would the Candyman say?
All right,
I'll
Tom.
give it.
Tom, please stop. Just do it normal. We're going to be here all day.
Out of 5 TARDISes.
TARDISes?
10.
Gridlock says TARDISes.
I give it 4 out of 5 TARDISes.
And out of 10, that would be an 8?
You said 5. Now I got to figure it out again. I'll give it 7 out of 10 TARDISes.
We'll get back to Tom later.
All right, let's go over to Gadget then. Gadget, what do you give it?
9.5. Only because of the kittens.
Ha! That's valid.
That's valid. Yeah. The kittens. They were talking. They made it talk. And I saw the behind the scenes on how it made it talk, and that was cute.
And Sean, what do you give Gridlock?
I give it 8 recycled waste cookies out of 10.
Ew.
Why?
You guys remember that?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, where did that come from?
That comes from
the
episode. Did you not watch the episode?
I did, but I'm like, why would you think of that right now?
Well, I was going to say 8 happy happies, but I already said that. So I was like, I got to think of something.
No, you could talk about bliss.
No. It has to be the recycled waste cookies, Gadget.
Yeah.
Need a cookie.
What did
a lot of people be starving right now.
What did Adam Sandler say? Please have Bob Barker spayed and neutered.
Oh lordy. Christian, since we got a nice small crew, let's include you in this. What do you give Gridlock?
Well, if that banner ever comes down, I'm telling you. I gave it a 6.
Give it a 6.
Very hard 6.
All right.
A really hard 6.
That means you're first.
It does mean you're first.
Oh, wow. I can't even use my privilege.
No.
We don't have to get out of jail cards here.
All right.
Make those up together.
Fine. You sure you don't want to go to a commercial break? Anyway.
Okay. I'll do that. We'll go to commercial break.
Really?
And then come back.
Okay.
34 after, yes.
I'll give you that. I'll give you commercial break.
You.
He saved me.
Are you a movie nerd? Do you collect VHS, DVDs, CDs, records, and so much more? Are you looking for clothing from 1940s to 2000s? Do you need cosplay or themed outfits? Come to Ducky's Vintage. We have it all for all budgets, located at the Oviedo Mall right off of the 417. Ducky's Vintage for those born in the wrong decade.
I'm author Mark Muncy.
And I'm author Erica Lance.
And this is Eerie Travels.
Greetings, travelers. Join us as we travel through folklore, myths, monsters, legends, and dark history.
Now, we'll be your guide to the spooky side of reality as we discuss cryptids, paranormal, and all things preternatural.
Sometimes we find the truth is way scarier than fiction.
We're on twice a week on your favorite podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube.
We have amazing guests from all of the areas of the strange and unusual, including witnesses, investigators, and more.
Yeah, with Erica's curiosity and ridiculous array of pop culture and true crime knowledge.
And Mark's decades of experience diving into folklore and the legends with the truth that's behind them.
Yeah, so join us, travelers, as we take you to the edge of reality, and we'll see you on the other side.
I didn't listen to that voicemail. I'll tear open that letter you sent. Don't you tell your friends I want you back. I gotta leave you now unread, because you've already said those words that switch my heart to dead from loving you. So you'll stay ghosted and I'll stay focused on sewing clothes. The spell stays unspoken, a dark silhouette of a marked man and broken. Right down, I didn't listen to that voicemail or TikTok, that story you sent. Don't you reel me in to get me back. I'm gonna leave you now.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and we're all here together.
Welcome back to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and our review of Gridlock. We're getting ready for Christian to give his excuse for why he only gave it a 6. Christian is hidden. These were very long commercials, apparently.
He wanted to get some ribs.
It's going to be one of those.
It is. It's one of those nights.
All right. The skeleton of Christian. What do you...
Tom, you're on camera.
Do you want to give your own rating, or do you want to go with Christian's? You are on mute there, Mr. Skeleton.
What do you expect?
Does this mean I go first?
Yes, this is you. You go first.
Oh, okay.
Just leave the skeleton.
You're bumbling boobs.
Hey, it's a great weight loss program. Anyway, so
just do it.
Never been a skeleton before. So I gave it a 6. I got to explain it this way. I didn't know how to explain why I picked a 6, and I was watching our other friends on other YouTube channels, and I watched our friend Joe from Matrix Lord 212, and he does these things where he eats food, and I was like, okay, I'll just watch this one episode, and he was eating lemonade potato chips.
Eh?
Trust me, I'm getting to the point of this. This is really nuts. So he was eating lemonade potato chips, and he described it as best as, it's not bad, I just didn't like it. So Joe, I'm stealing this from you. That's how I'm going to explain my rating. It wasn't bad, I just didn't like it. It just didn't work out for me. I mean, it was a cute episode. I meant it was a novel episode, because I've never seen anything like this. But I was just like, of all the things and all that,
You definitely haven't been to New York.
Well, do they have macra in New York? So
We have exhaust fumes left and right.
Okay,
If you're down in Manhattan, this is Manhattan. This is definitely Manhattan.
Worse than macra. So I really.
Oh, the macra. Those are the we don't talk about. They're in the sewers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in the sewers.
Dave, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't a bad episode, but if you're expecting me to go, okay, Christian, we're going to have a night of watching Doctor Who, pick out 5 episodes, this would probably never be in the top 100.
Okay.
It wasn't a bad episode, but I mean, if it's on the TV, I'll watch it. The only thing that I found interesting about it was and the one that stuck out the most was that Bliss girl.
Hmm.
And it was, it was the only thing that really got me thinking is just like, would you take the patch? Had you known what was going to happen? If you had something really traumatic in your life, would you take Bliss? Would you do it? And I guess I'm asking everybody on the team, if there was a way that you could wipe out something that was really traumatic, would you? Would you put that patch on?
Nope.
I couldn't even answer it.
I would never put that on because everything traumatic is what made me what I am today.
Yeah.
I don't think I would, because it seems like, and of course everyone has their own coping mechanisms, but it seems like everyone being kind of complicit is what's allowing it to happen. So in that particular context, I think the doctor facing it head on was the right decision. So no, I wouldn't have.
Tom, would you put the Bliss patch on?
I ask myself that every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Would I erase things that have happened? So all I can say is I'm sorry. I made mistakes. All these things lead to other things. Things led to the show. Spill the geek tea. And a certain predicament came up today, and I made my general statement on the other one. It's like, this is how it is. I will not accept anything beyond this anymore. We were just going to leave it be. So, I'll think about it tomorrow. But for right now, yes.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing when I was first watching it, and I don't know if I can explain it to people. When I first watched it, there were things I would have taken the Bliss patch for, without a doubt. And today, like you said, Tom, and I think it was, what was it? It was of all play we were talking about earlier was Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, where Kirk says, I don't want my pain, I need my pain. And this is what made me the character I am. What should I have taken left when I should have turned right? Those decisions that
Donna situation.
Donna situation. So how would you feel about that? I just thought it was the most interesting thing about the episode. And it made me think for a while, but then it was gone in a heartbeat. And so was the girl. And
yeah, such is life.
Such is life. Yeah. But as far as the rest of the episode, like I said, it wasn't bad. I just didn't like it. It's not one of those my go-to episodes. Will I watch it if it pops on the screen? Of course. Yeah. That it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't bad. And I think I'm with Gadget is just like, okay, yeah, kittens and Doctor Who. What else can you? Some cute.
I think that was in David's contract. It had to have kittens. Every episode had to have a cat or a kitten.
No, that works for me. But yeah, that's what I felt about the episode. I felt it was kind of a filler. It wasn't a bad thing. It brought in, it kind of gave us more of the backstory to the Face of Boe, but I don't know. I'm just, well, that's me in a nutshell. I
don't feel bad now for saying what I said. My choice either, because it was like, you said it's like a filler. It was part 3 of the whole thing for New York, but it's like, okay, you and I have been stuck through I-4 many times over, and any, I've been in LA, I've been in Orlando, I've been in Atlanta. I don't want to be stuck in Gridlock and meet all these people. That's fine and dandy for Doctor Who, but like the term of it, it was okay, but it was mediocre. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world. It was better than Fear Her, for God's sakes, other things, but why is everyone disappearing on the screen?
It's the browsers.
I suspect that Christian is growing back a body.
Oh, okay. I see it now. But Sean
has dropped. I'm not sure why. Technological blah blahs. That being said, you are next, so let's just keep going with Tom.
Yeah. I was thinking, how I wasn't going to go low, but Christian did first, so I was like, yes, I agree. It was fairly good episode. Oh, there he is. And the cats and everything. I'm quacking up here. But and interesting characters. It wasn't clear. The macro. It devolved itself to do these things. The idea of they wanted to spoilers. They wanted to. Is there a spoiler thing? I'm not touching anything. I'm on the side. I'm over here, so I can't touch anything. They wanted to kill off the Face of Boe on the last one, but so it was too many deaths occurred, so they did this, draw it out. So, okay, I'm glad they did. They gave the expansion of "You are not alone."
That was good.
Everything through there, so that was nice. But it was not a 10 kind of thing. It was like 7.5. Mark would say 7.6249. Apple water bottle phone 9. Sorry, Mark. I didn't drink enough water to do his voice. So, it was nice. I'm just going by memory. I didn't watch it again because there's all these interesting people and they're stuck in there and the fast life in a fast lane. The Bliss thing I completely forgot about. Maybe I did take a patch. Who knows? Would I ever use it today? No, because today I made my, Dave knows. I made my statement.
Yes.
But I was like, I don't even know what's the next episode, to be honest with you. But it was
Spider-Man.
good. Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's the other one after it. The other New York theme.
Yeah, I want to see Spider-Man 4. That's going to be nice. Anyway, so I've gone a bit quackers. And talking about rats. That's the other things that are swarming around the New York area. Keeping a ghost theme. Anyway. So, what is that thing? Is that the patch? Oh.
That was the patch.
Okay. That was the patch.
And there's a Papa for... funny. Yeah, so that's it. Christian said the whole thing, and I just reinforced what he said. There's nothing more I can think of. It was good, but it wasn't a great thing. It was meet new characters. Oh, and then the cats, of course, always cats.
Love the cats.
Always love the cats. Paste and copy what I'm going to say. Nice.
Hey, you took my number 5, so in there. And I didn't want to go first again.
There we go.
What is? I don't know. Everyone else has higher scores, so they're seeing something more spectacular besides, and as well as the cats. But the idea of gridlock, stuck in traffic, say, holy hell no. What the hell is that? What's a lemon potato chip? Oh, it's Grego.
To be fair, we don't have a. We've got a good broad reach, but nothing is jumping, right? It's fairly even steps. For example, Sean, who's up next, gave it an 8. So we got Christian at 6, Tom at 7, Sean at an 8. Sean, why did you give it an 8?
I gave it an 8 because it was a thoroughly enjoyable experience for me. This episode has quite a few things in it that are iconic for me. So the first thing that I want to shout out is David's speech about Gallifrey in the beginning. While that song plays, the Doctor Forever, that's the only time I'm going to sing on the pod. But yes, the Doctor Forever theme by Murray. Yeah, it was great. I really like that moment with, you can just see it in his face. He's really putting his heart into it. Speaking of David Tennant, I also have one of my most quotable lines and one of my most quoted lines in all of David Tennant's run, which is just him going, Martha! Like, if that's not a GIF, it should be a GIF, an animated GIF with him doing that, as should Martha Jones going, what? When they say 6 years, that's one of my favorite whats in all of television. What? I like Cat Guy. I like the character, I forgot his name, whatever, Director Krennic or Darth Vader or whatever his name is. I like him.
Novice?
No, not Novice. He's the
other cat.
Yeah, yeah. He's really, really good. Despite his homophobia, the rest of his attributes are quite charming. And speaking of cats, we got Novice Haim back. I love that hug between the Doctor and Novice Haim when he's like, Novice Haim, hold on, wait, get off. And he like remembers that she like was testing on humans. That's such a relatable thing. It's like, oh, it's nice to see you. Oh, wait, never mind. I hate you. I forgot about that. Really like that. And then finally, I have to shout out and I'm going to talk about the story in just a second, but I'm going to be as brief as possible. I'm going to shout out the callback to the Macra. If you've seen Classic Who, seeing the Macra here is really cool. Granted, like most Doctor Who fans, I saw this first, but it would have been really funny if out of the mist emanated the original cheesy 1960s Macra voice with them going, "There's no such thing as Macra." That would have been really nice to have that coming out of the fog, as you said, Macra. But yes, this story itself did a lot of cool things. It had a few purposes. It gave us a chance to sit down with Martha Jones and get to know her a little bit better. You get the name drop for the Daleks. You get the Doctor setting up Gallifrey and the Time Lords if you've just joined on board. And then you get the whole drop for Yana, the "You Are Not Alone" thing, which eventually leads to the Master. So the episode did all that really well. And one thing I like about the actual story is there are a lot of parallels in this story to religion, which I think is really cool. Because just like with the Floor 500 thing, if you guys remember that, anyone who's watching, I know all these guys probably do.
All made of gold.
Right, yes. You get them literally saying, there's a city above us. And the Doctor saying, what if everyone's just going around and around and there's nothing? Religion is also sometimes called a substance for the masses or something to that effect. And I'm not saying I agree with that, but that's kind of the parallel there, because you get the substances that people are selling, like the Happy Happy or the Forget there, as they're convincing themselves that there's something up there. And then also if that parallel didn't already smash you in the face with a sledgehammer, you get everyone singing Old Rugged Cross as they're going around and around. So those are really interesting parallels. And then when we finally do go up and see Novice Haim, she very much treats the Face of Boe sort of as a deity, and then you have him being sort of prophetic when he says the "You Are Not Alone" thing. And it does kind of play almost like a religious story. And then at the very end, you get the Doctor talking about Gallifrey in a way that bookends what he said in the beginning, and that is when you get everyone singing "Abide With Me," another classic hymn. So I think the episode's beautiful. I think it does a lot of things really well, and it was thoroughly enjoyable the entire time and sets you up for the next episode. So I gave it an 8.
Applause. There we go. No, that's a perfectly reasonable answer. I can't disagree with anything there.
I can. I'm just trying to figure out how that thing became John Barrowman.
Did that become John Barrowman? Really?
Spoilers.
Yeah.
It might not be. After I was thinking of something.
Well, he's got a big head, for God's sake.
Maybe it's they should do a retcon now. It's K9 or something. No, Master.
That's a very disturbed K9.
So we've got our 6, we've got our 7, we've got our 8, and that leaves us with a 9.5.
Yep. I told you the kittens were saving it and everything. Because at first I thought I was watching again with Nashuti and V because talking about Gallifrey and everything and stuff. I said, I knew in the New Who there was too many callbacks to this season of Doctor Who. And I'm like, they're the same thing. Let's go to your planet. Let's go to this. Let's go whatever and everything. And almost like verbatim, it was like, I'm not going to tell you. And then all of a sudden, after the serious event, he tells everything and stuff. So I was like, okay, I gave it, I was basing it all on that. Okay, what was taken for the new show? What was taken from this? Everything. So I was doing that. And then I forgot that this was the continuation of what he did with Rose and the mess he made and everything there, because they gave freedom to everybody. So I thought when I was originally watching this years ago, I thought it was the people that were given their freedom, and this is what happened, and it overcrowded, just like here in New York, overcrowded the whole area and stuff and everything. But I thought it was just, too many space cars on the road. Like, that's the impression I was getting, too many of this. You got the exhaust fumes, just like here. You got everything else. But the funny part was when they went and they opened up all those patches, like you guys were calling them and everything. And I'm thinking, we just opened up cannabis stores all over New York and everything to make people forget. So I'm like, how is this getting verbatim that I'm living in this, especially with the I cannot pronounce those crabs, because those are like the ones that are running around in the city that have no brains, no nothing, because they de-evolved, because maybe they got too much bliss, maybe they got too much whatever, and because they went panicking over the fact of what happened, like, oh wait, when we had the lockdown here in New York, everyone panicked, everyone was like, oh, we destroyed the city because of everything. It was like, I'm just looking at parallels to what could be and everything. Like you said, religion, I'm thinking it's more other things that we can't really talk about, but does have similarities, because it's just funny how everyone's running to a cannabis store right now to forget their problems. Everyone is just trying to get around. The subway is a mess right now. Everything, it had a power outage, everything. But then you get the little stories of the family stories of what the goal is. You get some families that are like, they were newlyweds when they were sitting in that car. And they had the little kittens and everything and stuff. And then everyone knows Father Ted and everything and stuff. And basically, like, I was playing Guess the Actor at the same time. And then you get him jumping around because he's going after Martha, because he's like, I'm not losing another companion again. I already lost this one and everything. I'm not losing another one, but how do I feel about this companion? But he still managed to go and everything. And then what got me was the girl who's supposedly pregnant, where Martha says, take that patch off for honesty. Why would she have to wear an honesty patch? And then drug Martha to get onto that, you know what I mean, and stuff, with sleep patch. Like, do we need patches for everything nowadays? Because we don't know how to go to sleep. We don't know how to have bliss. We don't know how to have, like happiness anymore and stuff. We just want something as a placebo or medicine to make us go night-night. I mean, that's what I was watching with this. But at the same time, the hope that some people had, the fact that the married couple, the old ladies, that they were originally, when they said the years, and I'm like, that makes sense when Nava said about like how long it's been since the doctor's been there. And then when you get the Face of Boe, you're like, who is this and everything? And then at first I was like, when I found out the secret, when they said it in a future episode, spoilers, that it is Captain Jack. But then I was thinking, could it have been Rogue? Because of everything and stuff, and he got out, but that's what he turned into? Or could it have been like, but it was retcon canon that it is Barryman and everything, and all that. But all I kept seeing was that it was the mistakes of the doctor, because even though he was doing something good, it caused a feedback. And then people weren't questioning anything. They were just being put on hold, like they are when you call police around here and everything and stuff. Like, everything is automated. Everything is automated. And until someone human comes along, or Gallifreyan, and decides we're going to fix it with the help of others, everyone was just stuck in a feedback loop. Everyone was just in a loop going around. And I don't even know how those crabs got down there, but they were just feeding off everybody's like bliss of trying to get to a new journey in life, But once the road opened up, everyone had clear sailing to go. One wanted to go to Brooklyn to raise their kids. One wanted this, one wanted that. But can you stand being with someone for 24 years and be in gridlock like that? Or could you stand like planning your child's future in a car, like, or the newlyweds that became parents and they're like, how many months they've been and trying to find work? I mean, that sounds like here right now.
Yeah.
No, I'd kill Tom. That would be.
I mean, we got a few fun things floating around in the subways and everything, because nobody has any sense anymore. They're just running like those, like the brain dead, whatever they are. How do you pronounce? I can't pronounce it. I could pronounce it. Macra. And it's like, because people just went with just evolution. Like, they just kept de-evolving, and that's what we have here too. We have a lot of people that are de-evolving because technology, cannabis stores. I don't fault the people for it, but sometimes people do want to forget, and it's not right to forget, because without your hurt, without anything, you don't know how strong you can be.
Yeah.
And like I was bullied for my whole life. My dyslexia was bullied by teachers, everything and all that stuff. People told me I couldn't do anything, but it made me go, okay, do I want to forget that harm or be like, okay, I'm gonna do this and show them all that I can do this. Yes, I have some flaws and everything. Even now, I had recent bully activity and everything. Yes, they got the better of me, but I actually might have one up on them. But who's to say, because do I want to live in that frame of mind, or I want to just move forward and not be those cars going around for years and everything. I want to go when the thing opens up and get going and everything.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots of different interpretations. It's that's what.
And the way today's going, you know what I mean? I had to block that out. Okay, because that's what it's like. Everybody is just thinking like in for themselves sometimes now, or you're just going in an endless loop because you think that's what it is. The masses. You're like just a mass that you're not questioning anything. You're not trying to escape your reality that you're in. You're not thinking for yourself because someone else told you how to think. You don't know how to be alone and not be alone and stuff like that. That's what I'm seeing now, especially here in New York.
Well, that's the thing too about this episode is just that the human condition cannot be contained.
Mm-hmm.
I would think those people were going to be jumping out of their cars and jumping all in each other's cars and stuff like that, but they were uniformed and they were lined up and they were just waiting. And then occasionally a car would move and then somebody would move up. So I don't know. You could also see it as
purgatory. See it as like you somebody who passed away. You could see it as purgatory, and they're reviewing their sins, and then oops, it magically opens up. If he's going based on Sean's religion, they went to heaven, and the macro were hell.
But Christian, wouldn't you say though? I mean, so were you saying that like this episode depicted that well, or did not depict that well?
Just for me, well, hearing what you guys have interpreted, I'm looking at a different light. And by the way, Tom's interpretation of it, his reading, we went up like 4 subscribers, so I'll never understand that part. And I don't know, because I don't think I saw it in the eyes that you did. This is why we do the show this way. Mm-hmm. Is because I there were things I didn't see. I just saw this as a like Tom and I saw, it was a filler show. You guys are seeing a lot more deeper into this than we did. And I think I could see deeper things, but I think it was just, I didn't know where it was going at times. I mean, it was just, we're not in outer space. We're stuck in traffic, which is not good. The only person who was moving around was the doctor and nobody else. Nobody else was jumping around cars. Nobody was thinking, oh, well, if I just get out of my car and jump into this car, then we can move ahead in the fast lane.
Welcome to New York.
So, maybe Christian, they were trying to make, maybe RTD was trying to make you feel like you were in the gridlock when you were watching the episode. But what I was going to say is maybe, the doctor comes in there and he is sort of a revolutionary and he's the one who's seeing the system for what it is. But to me, I kind of took that as, okay, they have dogmatic ideas that permeate through the society.
That's what.
And from the outside looking in, you can say, okay, well, obviously from the outside looking in, they're going around and around and they don't realize it. But there's people who've been there for decades, and everyone who started the protocol is dead. And like that's
except for Novice.
Except
for Novice, where she said to the doctor, they put it to save those people from the bliss pandemic.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, I kind of took that in the writing as like that's how those ideas get started, right? Like no one really knows why they're doing what they're doing, and everyone who started this is dead, and yet everyone's just assuming this is the way it's always been.
Blind faith.
And the doctor comes along, and he kind of lets people see, and they're also in denial too, is a big part of it. Like I think part of the reason they're not doing more is because they want to feel secure. Like if we just keep doing this, we'll get out, and like they all kind of know that that's not true, but they don't want to acknowledge. So that's how I would categorize that. I didn't mean to derail it too much. I just wanted to ask you if you.
Well, look at how he took the initiative to step out and get the doctor out of the smog and everything, out of the exhaust fumes and stuff, which started the chain reaction to make them think, oh wait, something's not right here and everything. and just kept going, and they started thinking for themselves again and explaining to the doctor what's going on. But all this was to save people from a pandemic of bliss.
So before I give my rating, let's go through the audience. Kristen, what have they had to say about this?
Got it. Well, Nico back comes up and says, "Hi, I give it an 8. I love the side characters the most, especially the cat and his family. I did like them. I did like the cat and the family, especially when they were showing the kids. I was like, okay." Timescales. Gridlock rates a 7.6 out of 10 on the timescales with 226 ratings and reviews. Raj says, "I'll be generous and give it a 9.8 for the action scenes and the humanoid cats with the return of Nawashane and the Face of Boe at the towards the end." Our friend Mark, Candyman. "I am sure Gridlock was based on the M25. People who are based in the UK will understand that." And Paul Kelly, who actually played, I believe, Paul Kelly, if I'm not mistaken, Mark, he plays monsters as well in Doctor Who, confirmed Gridlock was inspired by the M25. And I think Ramona was responding to the Face of Boe, and he had some work done. He had some big work done.
Could have been when the headless monk, like, you know, when they took the heads in 11, that could have been how Jack ended up like that.
Oh my God, I just realized they said a 50-foot head, think of it, earlier in the episode, and then we got the Face of Boe. I never even noticed that.
I'm still trying to figure out the evolution of how that head came to be. And like, it's going from a full body to this head that it exploded, with the only exception that I can think of is if you think of Cassandra, when everything was said and done, she was just a piece of skin with a face on it. And
it was Jack Harkness's ego.
That's yeah.
John Barrowman, that container is not big enough. that old gridlock was not big enough. So that needs a bigger.
I suspect that it was because you're thinking that Boe becomes Jack, but that has never been confirmed. What it was that Jack said that's what they used to call him, not that's who he was.
Right.
So my theory on that is he eventually is kind of the Cassandra thing. Later on, Boe doesn't evolve into Jack. Jack evolves into Boe, and then retakes that name from his youth.
Moisturize me, Doctor.
Yes. And the older John Barrowman gets, the closer to looking like Face of Boe he gets. I mean, he's aged like fine wine, but when you look at him in the Tennant years, and you look at him now, you can tell he's aged.
Yeah. And he's had some work done. Do you think when he turns like 75, he's just a big head with little arms and little legs walking around? How about these Rastafarian balls for hair or something like that? I don't know. I never understood that.
You know, he watches the show, right?
Yes, John. You can come on anytime you want.
Yep.
Spill the game.
Doors open.
No, so I gave it an 8.
Okay.
And I kind of agree with everybody's thing. Yes, it felt a little bit like a filler episode. I don't care. It was a good filler episode. I rewatched it before this episode, but I'd also rewatched it a couple of just before the last season aired, because that's where we were at. I watched Shakespearean Code and then just let it run through Gridlock, thinking, okay, we'll probably be doing Gridlock like next week or something, so I'll just let it run. And in watching it, I hadn't watched it in years at that point. It inspired me to go watch other shows. It inspired me to go find the Macra Terror, even if it is the oddly animated version, right? I wanted to find out more. I mean, I knew that the Macra existed. Not everybody might have known that. But I went and looked for that episode, and I found it, and I watched it, and I enjoyed it. I went back, and it also inspired me to go watch Paradise Towers. It gave me a little bit of a it gave me those vibes as well.
I saw that.
I saw nothing. I deny it. No, it gave me Paradise Towers vibes, kind of when they pop in on on the old ladies, and there's people living their lives, and the Doctor and companions just kind of go through them and go through these people's lives. They're there, they're gone. It's not that these characters are here and gone. It's that the Doctor is here and gone in those characters' lives. It's something unusual that's happened to them. The rest of their story isn't relevant to us because that's not the story we're following. But that doesn't mean it's not an important factor in their story to themselves. And we see that a little bit as he, goes through some of the people he does interact with, like the cats, like the little old ladies on the other end of the CB. And then there's some that we don't, he just kind of, excuse me, pardon me, Doctor coming through, the nudists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that today. You cannot do that today.
I think you can get away with that. But it was so fast, right? And there was a few others that were just like, what? What?
His catchphrase, what?
But it inspired me to do more Doctor Who, as opposed to just watch the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely had, and I did also went and kind of compared this to some of the modern stuff. Oh, look, here's music in Doctor Who. Oh, look, the little ladies were married. Mm-hmm. That's just a toss off because that was the time, and that's how it used to be back in the day when they would have been actually young. That's what you got. Is these are sisters, these are friends, these are cousins, whatever. No, they're married. They just can't get married. So there's all of those factors in there. Excuse me, itch. That are all in there, and it's really well done. And some of those things you don't need to. I think they were that particular one, addressed probably better than some of the modern stuff because it was just gone, and normal gone, without really delving into things.
And also on top of that, I would think with the modern stuff, with the D+ stuff, it's just like it felt natural. It didn't feel like it was being hammered on. It was something that it felt like it was not only a part of the story, not only did it happen, but yeah, it wasn't in your face. It's just like, wow, it was something like, hey, look at this, look what happened, and like you said, it was off, and it was just like it wasn't making it a big thing, but it was making a big thing by not making it a big thing, if that makes sense.
I would be curious if we went back on time on some of those message boards, if people, though, I got to say, didn't make a big deal out of it, because we kind of have the benefit of not being in that contemporary time. Some of the things people have said nowadays at the time, oh, no one made a big deal about that at the time. A lot of people did. And those people are kind of irrelevant now. I mean, no disrespect, but the episode is old enough now where we probably don't count that outrage anymore, but it probably was there at the time. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, no, definitely. The internet itself was not in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
It was barely there.
So it's not that. Yeah, exactly. So it's not that outrage wasn't there. It just wasn't as easy for the outrage to be spread.
But even on Outpost Gallifrey, I've heard someone talk about the specific thing on Outpost Gallifrey that, like, when the Doctor kissed Jack, like there were people who were really mad about that. But
of course,
they talk about it as much. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
No, you're entirely right. You're perfectly right. We always look at both the current and the past through lenses, through social lenses.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny kissed Elmer Fudd in drag, so what's the point?
Yeah.
I grew up with, I'm going to hate to say this, guys, you're going to get mad at me, but I grew up with all the old 1910, 1920, 1930, whatever cartoon they had back then, and they were very, let's put it this way, like, you can't do all that. Like, people don't realize Betty Boop was a porn cartoon. They don't realize that a lot of it was colored face on certain characters and all the other stuff and everything. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you try to do this episode again now, it'll just be like Idiocracy history right there, because we've got the stores, we got everything, we got everybody's bliss going on,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of a separate topic, I think. But yeah,
we're sliding off here. But that no, I think we've had a really good discussion on this. With a lot, and like Christian said, a lot of thoughts. You know, he's looking at it in a different way now. In some areas, and I think that's one of the lovely things about this show. This is why the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS exists, so we can have these conversations and look for stuff. Jim's got a bit of a story there about being teased for a speech impediment, and called a few things. A teacher giving him a gold star on his forehead, which in the 70s was a Charles Manson thing. This is not good. It was never good. That should not have happened. And would you take Bliss? Would you do that to get rid of those memories, or did they make that who you are? It's a thought.
That's the thing too. It's just almost like, okay, you don't want to be bullied, but it's usually the bullies who bring out the character, and that's when you make the decision. I mean, was it like a Christmas story with Ralphie? He finally just snapped and he just started attacking the bully. And I thought that was the development of his character, because it was like, no, I'm not going to take this anymore. And that's what you do with the bully. I've said this before in previous episodes. A way a bully gets its power is you give it attention. If you give it attention, that's how it becomes more powerful, because you're spurring on what they want. But if you pull the attention away or deflect the attention in some fast, like in Ralphie's case, he just ran up to the bully and smacked him, then the bully subsides. But is this something of a growing development, or is this something they shouldn't have? Of course, I'm one to say no kid should ever be bullied in school, ever. But I grew up with being bullied and stuff, because I was the nerdy kid, I was the Asian kid, and God, I did have, I'll say it, but I had my life threatened a couple times. That actually scares you, but what do you do about that? I think that is a judge of your character. Say, how do you get through this? How do you do it? Now, yeah, I don't want a kid to ever grow up, with his life threatened, but at some point, where do you grow your armor and, realize that this is just a point of life? Boys can be really hard against other boys, and later on girls become harder on other girls. But I think it also develops character. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable, but at some point, it's just like jumping out of a plane and with a parachute on. You're going to have to take that first step, and that's life. How you fly down that parachute and hit the ground is a judgment of your character, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And Christian, me and my family were actually talking about something like this the other day, which is like, if you're born with anything, right? Like, be it a disability or the way you look or anything, any attribute you have about yourself that puts you, puts a target on your back for certain groups of people who don't like that. It's like, growing up, being aware of that and trying to be a better person because people have targeted you that way. It's like, would you rather have that happen, or just be a person who never had to deal with those kinds of things? And of course, there's no person on this entire planet who doesn't have big problems, right? So I'm not saying that, but it's just like, if you've had a target on your back at some point in your life, like, would you?
Means you're good. You're famous.
Would you give that up? Would you give that up and not understand those issues? Or would you say, okay, I had that happen to me, now I understand what that's like, and I can help other people who've been through this? It's a really interesting question, I think.
Definitely. And it is a broader question that I think we can address on this episode, especially at this point in the episode.
Speaking of going off the rails.
No, we got to answer.
We're not even going off the rails. We're not even going off the rails. It's perfectly valid. This is all perfectly within the scope of this episode. But it does open a much broader conversation that this is not the time or place for. And
hey, you
that's
invited the philosophy channel on this channel. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, that is quite fine. Like I said,
Right.
you did not cross any lines. You were right. You're entirely right. I'm not reining this back because the conversation is not valid or the conversation is not necessary. But we're at a point where we can start winding the episode down instead of winding it back. Instead of winding it up.
As we wind down, it's David Tennant with kittens.
Yes, there we go. 10 out of 10. We have kittens.
Yeah,
and they're not being gambled away as in a poker game like an angel.
You know what haters actually does mean? Because I was watching this thing the other day with Tiara Maori. I can never pronounce, one of the twins. She says haters are having anger towards everyone reaching success.
There you go.
Uh-huh. So I thank all my haters.
So with that, why don't we wind things down, I think.
Can I add this, Dave? This is actually fun, and I wanted to make a mention because it was on the last episode, and we didn't get to use him. But I thought this was a wonderful picture, and I want to give a shout out to the person who made this because it was the only picture I could find of him outside of the animated series. Somebody actually made this picture of
wow,
the Belka Doctor, and I want to give a shout out. I found this, I believe it was on Twitter. So let me find the person's name. It is
Please. They're actually pretty good.
Mocha Quokka. I'm just gonna put, if you want to see for yourself, I'm gonna put it in the comments. But I thought this was an excellent picture of Richard E. Grant. If he was, if it was live interpreted, I know it's AI, but I mean, we haven't seen Richard in that outfit, in real life. So good job, Mocha Quokka, for doing that, and you can find him on Twitter for that. So thanks for letting me download the picture and not tell you about it. But I'm giving you a shout out, so there.
Definitely. No, I'm glad. I didn't even notice that one when we were playing the game because I can see all the behind the scenes stuff. I didn't actually even notice that.
That was a hard one to pick out because it was just, it was really dark and all that. But I was just like, I was hoping he would get hit, but he didn't. So but I was like, I can't let that go. So yeah, it is. That's
fair. So let's start below me. Sean, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Our Philosophy Is. If you're looking for nerdy content in a queer-friendly space, that is my channel. I've got the big swishy rainbow logo on there. I'm doing some more Doctor Who stuff, as I said, still reviewing the Patrick Troughton era, which there's a few of those episodes out there. Just a few episodes in the Patrick Troughton era.
Have you done Macroterra yet?
I haven't, but I think when I get to it, it's going to be interesting because this is one of the I've seen the most number of times, just like with Power of the Daleks when I did that. So I can't wait to see what I think when I get to that one. But
valid.
Right. Yeah. But that's where you guys can find me at Our Philosophy Is on YouTube. Head over there if that sounds good to you. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. And Gadget, where can we find you?
Well, if you're going to be in the Bronx this weekend on August 2nd, I will be at St. Helena's Roman Catholic Church for the Bronx Anime and Comic-Con Expo. It's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I think they still have some tickets left and everything. There also is an after party on Arthur Avenue. I might go to that depending on what's going on here. Also, at the end of the month, I'll be at Anime NYC. Hopefully, they have my press pass fixed and everything because they screwed up again on it and everything. But otherwise, not much until October when New York Comic Con happens. And hopefully, if you guys please, I'm still trying to find work. If you want to go lulu.com, pick up especially this one for the kids who have autism and dyslexia and some adults. It teaches you guys Dungeons and Dragons in the simplest way. And I'm still working on the other books in the series. And if you want to read about my travels in England for about, and also maybe a snippet of what the Doctor Who experience was like, because they wouldn't even let me use some of the things, but I had to change names and stuff. Read this and everything. It is like 3 books in one, the way I broke it down to make it easier and stuff. Everybody yelled at me about that. It should have been 3 books, but what can you do when you just want to get everything and move forward?
Yeah.
Yep. And just.
And Tom, where can we find you?
Oh, look, I came in today. Anyway, you can catch me and Mark and Dave and sometimes Nick on Spill the Geek Tea. Sunday, we just did an episode interviewing Gary Kirby who's the organizer of the Rapture Gaming Festival happening this weekend over in Gloucester. And come Sunday, we're going to be interviewing a marine chef, so that's going to be interesting. You can catch me on my regular channel / at Reverend Amagon. I do a couple of shows here and there, and that's primarily it.
Excellent. Yeah, I don't think I can't remember where Rapture is. I don't think it's Gloucester. Gloucester. I think it's somewhere else, but I could be wrong. My brain is somewhat on the fried side of things today. But you can check me out at Happiness Patrol. That's Happiness Patrol Show on YouTube. All one word in the youtube.com/@ Happiness Patrol Show. Our next episode 3, goes live on the 7th of August. Episode 4 goes up 5th of September. So it's the first Thursday of every month. Please give us a subscribe. Hit the bell. It's only one episode a month. So hit the bell so you don't forget about us. And of course, you can find me on my own channel, youtube.com/TheRatHole, DOTCA. And I stream games there. We have a miniature painting show there and all of that. I'm not traveling as much right now. That's all of our Doctor Who reviews, therathole.ca/who. We are in the process of renovating the site a bit so that what may or may not work as properly, but hopefully it will soon. And you can, of course, find me at Spill the Geek Tea on Sundays, and right here on the Legend of the Traveling Colchester. There we go. I knew I was wrong. Rapture Gaming Festival is in Colchester.
I just looked it up.
Wrong Chester. So I'm sure Mark was lipping out at us. He's going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, he posted.
I hope Gary's not watching. Sorry, Gary, if you're watching.
Making you feel bad now.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Trying to keep this out of shot because I'm going to be on my other channel. Probably open that later.
Hey, Kristen.
Yes,
did Dave ask someone a specific question on our chat? I didn't remember if we'd come back to that. I don't mean to interrupt, but I didn't remember if David asked someone in the chat.
Did
I don't think I did. Maybe I did, but if I did, I've forgotten it.
Okay. Well, Sean remembers, so you.
Sean remembers, yeah.
Sean remembers. That's all that matters.
Edwards Farms also probably remembers, but you know.
Exactly. So, guys, this summer, if you want to get some barbecue sauce, now I apologize. Quite a few of you have already talked to Billy, and we're trying to find a delivery service that is not that expensive. UPS and FedEx, they're kind of pricey. In some cases, I think he even mentioned that you're paying more for the delivery than the bottles themselves. But you can catch me at the conventions at Ancient City, and I'll explain that in a moment. Or if you want to purchase it yourself, just write to Billy at emailthekitchenkillers@gmail.com. Don't forget to put TARDIS in the subject line for 10% off of your purchase there. And don't forget also, we're getting very close for Shirley to get her goal. I was just refreshing the goal right now. Nope, still holding it.
Still holding?
10. Yeah, but I mean,
how are we holding?
Another 400 or 500 and she'll hit her goal. That will definitely help her maintain and keep the Pandora restaurant. If you haven't visited already, the PandoraRestaurant.com, and check out her GoFundMe is also there. You can check out all the food. And if you're in that area, by all means, go over there at the Beacon area and check out her food. Here it's very tasty. I haven't been there yet, but anyway. And don't forget, before you leave, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and comment. We're now up to 69,966, and my year-old brain just went completely nuts on that one. So we're at the 6,996.
Wait, what?
69966.
Oh dear Lord! All sixes and nines.
Exactly. I'll take a screenshot before somebody subscribes or unsubscribes.
Yeah, please. That's too funny.
4 of you subscribed during Tom's little speech, so I don't understand, but that's fine out there. And we will be at Ancient City, ancientcity.com, September 14th through the 20th. Make sure you go out over there and get your tickets now. It's ancientcitycon.com and purchase them online. Tell them the Legend of the TARDIS, Traveling TARDIS has sent you. Also, the Dalek Builders will be out there. This will be taking place at the World Golf Village Resort, please, in St. Augustine, Florida. So please get your tickets now. So without further ado, I think that is it.
I think so.
I'm just making sure. Don't forget to say goodnight to Simon on your way out. And everybody, please stay safe. And until the next adventure, Tony, take us out.